Hi, and welcome back to Scratch. Today, we're going to make English muffins. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and share this recipe. For this, we'll need 1 egg, 2 3/4 cups of bread flour, 3/4 cups of half and half or whole milk, a half cup of water, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 3 tablespoons of cornmeal for dusting, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast, a teaspoon of salt, and some cooking spray. We'll start by proofing our yeast. We'll mix together a half cup of hot water from the sink and 3/4 cups of half and half or whole milk. This should make a lukewarm mixture. We'll stir in our 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast and allow our yeast to proof for 6 to 7 minutes. While the yeast is proofing, we'll whisk together our 2 3/4 cups of bread flour and teaspoon of salt. For this recipe, it will be necessary to spoon the flour into a measuring cup and level it off with a knife before adding it to the mixing bowl. After whisking together our flour and salt, we'll melt our butter in the microwave for 30 to 40 seconds. It's been about 7 minutes and our yeast is finished proofing. We'll mix our melted butter and egg into our yeast mixture. Then we'll put our flour mixture on a stand mixer and mix on low while we slowly pour in our yeast mixture. While it's possible to do this by hand, this recipe requires a lot of kneading, and the stand mixer is easier. Once our liquid ingredients are incorporated into our flour mixture, we'll increase the speed on our mixer to medium and knead our dough with the paddle attachment until the dough begins to pull away from the sides, about 7 minutes. This will be a very wet dough, but that's what allows the large bubbles to form in our English muffins. After mixing our dough, we'll cover it with a kitchen towel and allow it to proof for at least 2 hours. My oven has a bread proof setting that I'll be using. If yours does not, set it in any warm place out of direct sunlight. The longer you allow your dough to proof, the more flavor your muffins will have. After we've let our dough rise, we'll sprinkle half the cornmeal between 2 cookie sheets, lined with the silicone mat or wax paper. Then, we'll turn our dough out onto a floured work surface and press it down until it's about half of an inch thick. Because this is a sticky dough, we'll also dust the top of our dough with a tiny bit of additional flour. Then we'll spray a 3-inch diameter cookie cutter with cooking spray and cut our dough into rounds. Once we've transferred our rounds to one of our cookie sheets, we'll top them with additional cornmeal. The cornmeal will prevent them from sticking to our skillet or griddle. Once sprinkled with the additional layer of cornmeal, we'll cover our English muffins with a kitchen towel and allow them to rise a second time for a half an hour. This recipe will make approximately 16 English muffins. If you don't need that many, you can freeze half of the dough to use at a later date. While we're waiting on our English muffins to undergo their second rise, we'll preheat a griddle or skillet to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. It's been 30 minutes, our griddle is preheated, and our English muffins should have finished their second rise. We'll place them on the griddle and allow them to cook for about 10 minutes on each side. When finished, we'll allow them to cool on a rack for at least 30 minutes before splitting them with a fork. We'll then serve them toasted with butter and jam as part of a breakfast sandwich or even eggs benedict. And remember, if you like the content, please subscribe.